everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon. I'm back today with another episode of Monthly Modules, and we're back today, not with the full casting crew, in fact, because we're a couple of us down, but Sam's power's out, so we're hoping that she joins us again shortly, and Toto D can be with us. But we got the Asimar crew here today, ready to rock and roll, so it's a sibling adventure today. Let's figure out who we are and who we're playing. Let's start with our Dungeon Master, Obo Crazy. How you doing, Obo?
I'm doing great. I'm sorry that we couldn't play last week as I was a little busy, but I am now here with a new adventure for you guys to go on and a lot of excitement and blue hair.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, we have Chris with us tonight. Chris, how you doing with that beautiful
I'm good.
hair?
Thanks. Had a great weekend in Comic-Con. Glad to be back, and I'll be playing Diomedes, the divine raging barbarian, Path of the Zealot, who's the oldest of the Adelard, but not the smartest.
Great stuff. We also have Lauren with us today. That's Salty Ginger. Lauren, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Super excited for our family picnic today. I am playing Sugar Adelard, the baby of the siblings. She is a paladin of Sunni and a warlock of Don't Worry About It. And I'm very excited. This is going to be good.
Amazing. As for myself, I will be playing Rylan Adelard, the middle sibling, who is intent on gaining arcane power, learning secrets. He is a sorcerer, and he is not afraid of casting a fireball or a lightning bolt at someone. So it's going to be a fun mix of just the three of us here today without our controlling factors in Nyla and Trinkle, who usually keep us a little bit more calm. It is just shenanigan time here today on Monthly Modules. Like I say, hopefully Nyla will be joining us shortly, but we'll keep you updated on that. Before we dive into today's game, I'll remind you guys that we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. So all of the maps, the tokens, the images, and every roll that we make today is using Fantasy Ground software that you can check out below. You can use the demo version for free to check it out, and you can buy various different licenses to play a ton of different games. We'll be playing D&D, Call of Cthulhu, and RuneQuest, just using Fantasy Grounds all in one day. And of course, we're sponsored by Wayland Games, where they sell incredible miniatures at a 20% RRP discount, so check out Wayland Games, get yourself some D&D minis, and get around a tabletop together, or a virtual tabletop, in which case use Fantasy Grounds. You guys can interact with today's show, of course. If you haven't followed the show yet, hit the follow button and join us. When we hit 30 followers today, you guys get to decide what happens next in our campaign. The same goes for this tweet here. 20 retweets will have another viewer decision as well. And of course, you can donate to affect the game by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. I'll remind you guys as well that 8 p.m. Eastern tonight we're doing the RuneQuest premiere, so if you're tuning in for that, you've got about 6 hours, and then we'll be doing the first ever RuneQuest game on Twitch. But let's go, in fact, and start our game today. Let's play some monthly modules. Let's get a sibling TPK, as I'm sitting here in chat. And let's hand over to Ovo Crazy to remind us what happened last week on the channel.
Oh, last week you guys finished out a encounter with Alamia in the desert. You saved the noble that you had been sent out to help. You basically did everything you needed to do. You got back to the town, got your reward. It was all very gratifying. You went off to the tavern to rest and have a good sleep, and this morning you wake up in a different tavern. And it's a little disconcerting for Diomedes and Rylan, not so much for Sugar. Sugar, this has happened to you before. You're kind of a little used to going to sleep in one place and just waking up in another.
Yes, I am used to waking up in strange bedrooms, yes.
Yes, although the fact that this has now happened with your brothers and with your companions is a little new and a little nice to wake up and not be, I don't know where I am and I'm alone. So that's gratifying. It seems to be an inn again somewhere, but it is definitely a different place. And as you wake up, you actually wake up to a knock on the door, and as you come to consciousness, you can see that two of your companions are actually not here, although there are 2 other beds in the room that look like they've just been slept in.
I roll over and shake Rylan awake. Rylan,
Why?
Rylan.
Why?
Rylan.
We're all sleeping in the same bed.
I assume so. I assume
Three of us
so.
just
Yes, I'm in the middle,
sardines.
so I elbow both of you then.
Yes. Why are you? What on earth were we thinking?
We were snuggling, I
What's going on?
assume. I don't know. Well, I
When
do
I
know.
went to
This
sleep, I was
sometimes.
the only one in this bed.
I don't think so. I don't think that's right.
I thought I went to bed with Trinkle. Where is Trinkle? Where's the rest of our
Another
party?
knock.
Where
There's
is
another knock at the door.
Come in.
Door
Make
opens
yourself
and it-
decent.
The
Hi.
door opens and it's Sunday and she pokes her head and she goes, "Oh, good morning. Oh, you're still naked. Oh, give me a okay." And she closes the
Am
door.
I?
I am.
Very.
I look down.
I'm naked.
I steal the sheets and I make myself a toga. You can
Why
come
are
back.
we-
Grab my
I don't know. You said you need to be
Wait,
decent.
no, wait, we're siblings. I forgot.
Family
Sugar
friendly.
said
I
that you
blame you for this.
Sugar said you
The
needed to get decent,
implications.
so I ran with it. Yep. There's another knock at the door, and from the other
Put
side of the door,
towels
you
on.
hear
Yep, we got all our towels.
Sunday go. Sometimes when I teleport you, things get a little odd. Sorry, I just was trying to get you into the beds. I'll give you a moment.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
Why do you have towels nearby? I need a towel.
I feel like I should, give permission before I get teleported.
I mean, it would. Yeah, we could talk to her about that. She is very understanding.
Might be something we
I
want
like
to
how
mention.
Diomedes is not embarrassed. at all.
What about being naked? I mean, he's
No,
half
it's-
naked half the time anyway.
It's good. No, nudity is not inherently sexual, Rylan. You don't need to be so squeamish.
You're gross. All of you.
Well, time to get dressed. He just puts on his, trousers. That's it.
Put on my armor.
As you guys, I mean, it's gonna take Sugar like 20 minutes to put on armor, but as you guys
Yes.
get into your regular clothes and she starts buckling things up, Zende comes back on in. She's now carrying a tray with what looks like some pastries and some coffee. And she goes, "Oh yes, well, I was just anxious to get you on to the next bit of fun, but I didn't think that would cause this much of a ruckus." And she puts the tray down and she says, "So Nyla and Trinkle went out to go explore the town a little bit, but I'm sure they'll be back in a little while. Meanwhile, you guys have a appointment to go speak to a friend of mine."
We do.
Yes.
You are manager now. What is this?
Well, yes, that's what we agreed to. Is I would get you to go out on adventures and stuff.
Right. Just not used to the way we're doing things, but fine. You can be our Adelard manager, I guess.
Well, I could have let you do the travel by horse, and it would have taken a couple of weeks, and it would have been kind of boring, and I'm not really that fond of a hex crawl, so I thought it'd be fun to just get you here. Also, we're kind of on a time frame. The thing that my friend needs you to do is a little time sensitive, as most saving the world usually is. And I need the three of you to roll perception checks.
We're saving the world.
Okay. I can't say again. You guys can. Abilities. I remember how things work. No, skills. I remember how things work.
How do
Yeah.
looking? How do look?
4.
18.
My eyes aren't working.
He's still closing them.
Make them then cat over, like the blinders.
Okay.
It's like a-
Yeah, I guess 14. Yeah, all of you except Sugar notice there's a rumble of thunder. You think there's just this moment where you hear. So I brought you some coffee and some little bits of breakfast, and then Nemerit is gonna be just outside when you're woken up a little bit more.
Nemerit?
Yep, Nemrit Daz. She's a friend of mine. She's a gnome from way back. Gnome friend of mine. She's a very smart lady, and she'll be able to tell you all about what's going on so you can save the world.
Great. That sounds
All right.
super fun. That sounds super fun and something that we can definitely do.
I mean,
A few experiments I'd like to do upon gnomes. It'd be useful.
Cool.
You can
Nice.
ask her. Mm.
Consensual experiments, like consensual teleporting and consensual.
family.
I
Nap-
don't
Napping.
like where this is going. Yes.
Me neither.
Well, weather doesn't sound too great for saving the world right now.
Oh,
Well,
come
did you
on.
wanna-
Don't be a baby. You're like a cat. You just don't like getting wet because it messes up your hair.
Well,
Like a perfectly nice day outside. I'll go check again while you guys all get ready. And she trundles her way back out with, her little spry old human self. Just, let's see how everything disappears out the door.
She's fun. Okay, we are going to go meet this gnome, hopefully meet up with our friends later. But I think this will be nice. I think this will be a good bonding experience since we haven't seen each other in so long. So I think it's a good move.
Well.
Suppose so.
thought we did all the bonding last night, apparently. Very well. Saving the world sounds like a good bonding experience. So,
Let's go. Let's do it. Come on.
All right, you gather yourselves and head on downstairs to what seems to be another nondescript kind of normal tavern. Seems to be one of these in every town.
Is it a
learn as
chain?
you head- well, this one seems to be called the Big Lizard Lounge, and
Ooh.
you could ask if there's a chain of them across Faerun. You don't know. It seems to be fairly.
I
There's
will.
a barkeep. Yeah. There's a barkeep behind the bar serving up what looks like porridge, like a really nice, thick, hearty porridge. Hi.
Oh,
Great.
Yeah,
Hi
your friend
there.
is waiting outside.
everyone is so well informed except us. Have you noticed that, guys?
No idea what's happened since we got teleported. Apparently we fell asleep. The more we think about that, the better. The less
Yes.
we think about that. Goodness.
Well, your manager grandma lady paid for the rooms, so I figured she was letting you know what was going on.
She's not actually our grandma. But she is a nice old woman.
Yes. Yes.
Whose grandma
yes.
is she?
I have no idea.
I consider her like an adopted grandmother.
Well, that's nice. You gotta
Isn't
like
it?
a grandma that's gonna pay for things.
Oh, like a sugar grandma.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, like one of those.
Oh.
You're
a
welcome.
sugar granny.
Yes, yes.
Purging the thought.
No,
Anyway.
that's the kind of
Perception
episode
checks
this is
again?
going to be. Strap in. All right, let's go outside.
As you guys head outside, I'd love for you all to roll perception checks again.
I would love to. I'm so good at this. Woo! 9.
Alright.
That's knocked into mine and made it 6. Ah,
9.
All right.
you knocked my
Did
dice.
it.
Sugar, as you head outside, you barely hear what you think might be that thunder that your brothers were talking about. It's just this very
Wow.
faint but resonant.
What does the sky actually look like?
As you guys head outside, it's clear. It looks like a gorgeous, bright, sunny morning. You don't even see any clouds in the sky. The town that you're in seems to be tiny. It looks like a little village. You can actually basically see most of the buildings around you. Very provincial little village. Everything looks very neat and well kept. It's definitely not poor. But it's tiny, and you seem to be on a little bit of a hill, kind of looking out across mountains on one side of you, and you can kind of see some rolling hills off in the distance on the other. And as you head outside, you are immediately greeted by two figures. A gnome, who you assume must be Nemrit, and a elven woman. Both of them look ancient. The gnome her face is in a wide smile, but is surrounded by wrinkles and smile lines. What's left of her hair is shock white, and there's like a chunk of it gone on the right hand side, as though like she'd been injured at some point and it just never grew back. Wearing brightly colored trousers and a tunic and carrying what looks like a satchel. The elven wizard next to her must also be ancient because she doesn't look young. You know, the elves, they perpetually look young until they're like 3 billion years old. And this elven woman actually has lines on her face and graying hair and nice robes, but is walking with a little bit of a stoop. And as you come outside, the gnome says, "Oh, yes, good, you're here. We don't have much time. The Tarrasque is coming." And she points.
Tarrasque. Good.
Is that like a dog? Is it like a camel?
Oh no! Have you not heard of the Tarrasque? Look, it's coming over there. And she's super excited as she points. And you all look out again towards these rolling hills, and you can now see either way off in the distance or much closer than you're very comfortable with, a giant beast. A huge creature, a gargantuan creature of massive proportions, a lizard-like being with a maw that could eat this town, 4 legs that are incredibly slowly plodding along, a giant tail swooping out behind it, almost moving in slow motion. And as you watch this thing, which you think might actually be a mile or 2 away, maybe even further, it very slowly steps forward, and moments later you all hear "Doosh." And as Nemrit, the gnome, points to it and says, "Oh, magnificent beast, isn't he?"
I thought we was just gonna help you across the road. This is a bit above our pay grade.
I thought you guys had saved the world once already. This seems right up your alley.
But we don't have our box this time.
Oh my god. We're going to die.
What are you going to put it in a box? That's a very novel approach, but no, it's not necessary. We can explain everything. But impressive, isn't he? I call him Bob. And the elven woman next to Nemrit says, "Please, must we? My apologies. My compatriot is very excited about the Tarrasque, but he is not named Bob. But my name is Farron Zumkala, and we are all that's left of the group that tamed the beast, and we need your help in making sure that he stays contained. But my friend Zunde said that you were perfect for the task, and I trust her implicitly. Is this something you would be interested in doing? We desperately need the help."
Oh, is that the lizard from the Big Lizard Lounge? Is that the lizard?
You look up to look at the sign of the inn that you just came outside of, and yeah, there's the sign says Big Lizard Lounge, and you notice that there's like a very simple drawing of this crazy giant beast out in the distance.
I am the smartest sibling.
Right. Well, the Tarrasque. Yes, I'm very interested. Very interested indeed.
What do you know about the Tarrasque? What we are short on time, but not so much that I can't answer some questions. You're going to be encountering it, so the more you know, the better it will be.
Okay, what do?
Very well said.
And
thank you.
Nemrit speaks up. I'm sorry, Zymes, what'd you say?
What was their favorite food?
Nemrit speaks up and says, "Oh well, it's pretty simple, really. I mean, there's no way to kill that creature. It's just no one can. We tried 100 years ago. It was impossible. No, but we were able to implant a device in its head that dominates it and makes it just wander around in the big wide area here, not attacking anything. But something's gone
Like
a
a
little
zoo.
wrong.
Like a zoo.
Ooh, I guess, but we convinced it to stay and not attack instead of penning it in. There's no penning in that monster. It's going to destroy everything if it decides it wants to. Our job is to tell it not to.
Well, then you should evacuate at least. That's not a tourist attraction. That's a force of nature.
It's a little bit of both now, and she points back up at the sign above her head. Says the big lizard laughing.
See?
This town has been here for the last 100 years, ever since we finally got the beast to just, not be a problem. And if you are successful, it will continue to not be a problem. And if you're not, then there's really no place on this plane of existence that is going to not get destroyed. So, really, where would you evacuate to?
True.
Do you think the device thing is damaged? Needs a part changed, like a battery?
Tell me more about this mind control device. What uses does it have on humans and mortals as well?
The elven wizard speaks up, and she says, "We came up with it about 100 years ago. The group of us. There were about six or seven when we failed to kill it. It's a rather simple device. It's a fairly large magical device that continually casts a very high-level dominate monster spell. So it's fairly simple, but it's a complex construction. I don't know if this similar thing would work on humans. Certainly there are different spells for that sort. And we can talk about that later. Those are interesting thoughts you have. But we were able to implant it in the creature's head, and it continually casts this spell and convinces the creature to just wander aimlessly and not do very much. And for the last 100 years, it's been very effective. We're not exactly sure what has gone wrong. And she looks at you, Sugar, and says, we do think that there is a possibility that it may be running out of arcane energy. It is quite a powerful beast. And
so it needs more
that
juice.
is possible. That's what we think, but we also need to examine it. We need someone to go up and take a look in case there has been any other issues.
You want us as like some sort of maintenance crew to go up onto that thing and take a look.
Yes, it's a new family business. We're branching out.
That's basically it. Now,
right.
So now, certainly this is.
Yes,
we have
know.
Some options, and certainly depending on what you're interested and what you're comfortable with doing, we can offer some suggestions. And I do have a rug of flying that would help you out. It wasn't quite big enough to have all 5 of you, but it looks like some of your friends have gone out to do some shopping. So maybe just the 3 of you, it would be fine. But we have that as an option. We also have just your standard grappling. As long as the creature remains under the dominate monster, then there's no real danger except for, falling off.
Falling, yes, that's my major concern. Is there anything you could
can
help
fly,
with?
Diomedes.
Only for a minute, sister. If we were to be up there checking it out for longer, then it'll be a trouble getting back down. Is there any way you could help us? Some sort of scroll or potion?
I don't have scrolls or potions, but as I said, I've got the rug, and she reaches into. She had like a over-the-shoulder satchel that she opens up, reaches into it, and starts to pull out a rug. And it's have one of those moments in where a giant rug comes out of a tiny little bag, and she's like, If anyone ever remembers Guybrush Threepwood in his pants trying to just pull out big things out of his pants. There's a reference no one will get. But she pulls out a fairly large rug that Rylan, I'd say even without a check, she talked about this being a flying carpet of some sort, and this is what you suspect it is. She plunks it down onto the dirt on the ground. She says, "This will hold quite a lot of you. As I said, I was afraid it wasn't going to hold the whole group, but if the three of you are just the vanguard that are necessary, then I think it will hold all three. Now, you do need to be careful. Flying is always dangerous, but it will get you up there and back without a problem." And the gnome speaks up and... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I ask to roll an insight check? Because I'm sure Ziomedes is doubting whether a Karfik can even fly at this point.
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my god, I got a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
I'm straight to that.
You wrote a book.
Are they telling the truth or are they messing about?
You are positive that they are telling the truth. This is 100% what's going on. You even detect under their kind of calm facade, the elven woman seems to be, she's got a very calm air about her, and the gnome seems to be excited, but there is a level of nervousness underneath their talking to you. They're giving this information and they seem confident in you and their plan, but there is that level of tension that you can just feel under the surface that's, if this goes wrong, it's going to go really wrong.
Really
but
wrong,
you think they've been 100% straight with you and are open to any other questions that you might have.
Well, it seems like a simple enough task, brother, sister. We go up there, check out the arcane device, and see what's gone wrong with it, and fix it.
You're so smart. So how do we get to it? Do we have to go in its mouth? Is it in its head? Is there a hatch?
There's a little
no
hatch.
hatch. Is there a hatch? Oh, we should have made a hat for them. That would have been so adorable. Bob would have loved it so much. No, we're not making a hat. The gnome speaks up and says, "So the carpet should get you up there, and we were able to implant it in its forehead, like right on the crest. So my suggestion is come in from the tail so that you avoid any of its limbs, go over it up to its head and then land, and then take a look at everything and see what you find. We think it's just a little out of juice." And the gnome reaches back into her bag and pulls out, it's a potion bottle, but it's large. Like, you're kind of used to potion vials being just small little things. This looks like a beaker of stuff. It's bright blue, and all three of you kind of have to shield your eyes a little bit about the arcane energy that's coming off of this thing. It's concentrated magic essence in a way, and it's got a big stopper with a wax seal on it. And she holds out the bottle and she says, "Now if we're right and all you need to do is just, repower the device, then you just pour this into it and it should be just fine. It should be great. And if there's something else going on, then do your best, take a look, see if you can fix it. If you've got some more questions, you can always come back. We would go with you, but it's been so long since I've been able to move without the arthritis kicking in. And Farah, she used all of her energy to make this, so..." And the elven woman kind of nods and says, "Yes, I've spent the last week making that potion, so please be careful with it. That is all of the energy that I could come up with."
All right.
Thank you.
Who
Well, I
wants to
think
take it?
there's me. I will look after it.
Rylan, it is surprisingly heavy. It's like, and it's a thick liquid, and even for it being a large bottle and expecting it to be a little hefty, it's weighty.
Let's see. Well, you seem very nonchalant about all this and very confident in our abilities, but what are the chances of failure here?
It depends on what's actually... It depends on what's actually gone wrong with the Dominate device. And so my hope is that things will go super smoothly. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. And you'll get to see Bob up close. Aren't you excited?
I'm so excited.
Very excited, yes.
Overjoyed.
You hear another douche. You all kind of look back over at Bob, and I'd love you all to roll perception checks.
Bob, chill out, man.
Can't wait to pour some juice into a giant lizard's brain.
Just a normal Monday. 10.
Exactly.
Could go wrong.
All right.
10 as well.
Yeah, you all notice, like every time this creature takes a step, it makes this noise, and it seems like everybody else in the town, you can see a couple of other people milling about doing things. It seems like this is just the background noise of their lives. Nobody else even flinches at this noise. The two in front of you don't bat an eye, but you all can't help but startle. And you all notice it's been moving very slowly, almost gracefully, and with a smoothness that seems to just be perpetual. Except every once in a while it pauses. And then it starts to move again. And then like a minute or two will go by and you'll look over and like out of the corner of your eye you'll notice that it's stopped again. And that the head, which has just been kind of looking forward, cocks just a little bit. And
like a glitch?
A little bit. And Nemrit points and says, that's how we know something's gone wrong, is it's not supposed to do that.
What in the event that it isn't just out of juice? Something's wrong with the device. You have a backup, one we can install.
No, sadly not, though. That device took the combined power of about 7 of us 100 years ago to complete and install. We lost quite a lot of people trying to get it in there. I mean, Bob was not very happy with the whole installation process. Let me just put it that way. So our hope is that we can repair, even a temporary repair that could give us a couple of years would be helpful. Then I can reassemble some people to try to come up with an alternative. But we're afraid if we don't do at least a patch or something right now, this is going to get worse.
I'm sure turning it off and on again will be fine.
Yeah, power cycle!
Absolutely. Make sure you unplug and plug it back in, but give it 30 seconds, and I would hold on very tightly. Bob is very unhappy when people ride him. We found that out the hard way.
I'm standing on, if the rug, did she like put the rug on the ground?
She kind of, it was still wrapped up in a tube, and she had just kind of plunked it on the ground. Would you like to unwrap it and unfold it?
Yes.
Okay. It is a 5x7 carpet of flying. Nobody needs to attune to it, but somebody does need to take control of it. And you would know that this will hold up to 600 pounds. So it would probably hold most of you. You do think that maybe it's a good thing that Trinkle and Nyla are not here, or else someone might get left behind, or you'd have to come up with something else to do.
How much do you weigh, real quick?
212 pounds.
We're fine. We're fine altogether, even with armor.
The eating contests me and Trinkle used to go to. Or like 12 pounds from eating contests.
How do you control it? This looks like fun. I miss flying.
You'll have to think about it.
Maybe Sugar, it's best if I, trained practitioner of arcane law, were to steer this thing. You are erratic at best.
I'm pouting. I'm pouting super hard.
You've got the bottle, haven't you, brother? Enough responsibility.
Right, well, maybe, and I get the bottle out and I hand it over to Sugar and say, you can look after this, it's very important. It's a big responsibility I'm placing in your hands.
This is so funny.
I'm glaring at you! Well, it's okay. Rylan,
whoever
think...
does it, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
You can help me do it.
Why did we dispute this the old sibling way with, what is it, rock, paper, scissors?
Well,
How about we
Older-
don't do that, brother?
older-
How about we just let me? How about
So
we
you
just
have
let
to be
me
good. You
fly
have to
there?
be good at the arcane arts, not just like telling it what to do with your mind.
How about this, Sugar? How about I fly it there, and you fly it back? All right.
Okay. And I'm gonna hold on to the bottle.
All right.
Excellent. That worked out now. Okay, because like
Yes, it was
I-
very important.
I mean, it's fun. Definitely, I can understand, but definitely, you should have one person in charge. If you give command, if more than one person gives commands to the carpet, it gets very confused.
Oh, does it? That's so funny. Cool.
Funny is a word until you're falling.
Right.
I mean,
Now,
I think it's
let's-
still a word. Words last forever, Missy, elf, lady, Farron.
All right, now it's Ryland's sort of like, okay, and goes steering her away. He's like, yes, very well said, Sugar. You truly
Thank
are a
you.
wordsmith.
Yes.
Did you have any
Yes, I
other
am.
questions?
Nope.
Ooh, okay, let's talk worst case scenarios here. If there's
Death.
nothing we can do, and also death, anything you'd like us to do in that case, steer it towards the dwarves, before we kill you, something of that sort.
Oh, if you know how to steer it, that'd be wonderful. But you would be kind of stuck doing that for the rest of your life. I would hope that would not be the case. If you can't fix it, then take measurements, get a lot of information, take a few samples if you can, and come back. And maybe because Nemrit and Theron and I were very good about being very on top of getting all of the particulars about this device, and there may still be a chance that we can fix it. We're not at the point of no return just yet. So if you can't fix it up there and you need to come back, just make sure you get as much details as possible.
Well, that's Ryland's kind of thing. He'll take samples of anything.
Excellent.
Right.
Just don't
Yes,
probe
I do.
too deep, because if you hurt the creature, which is pretty hard to do, but if you hurt it, then it gets to try to not be dominated anymore. And if that thing is really running out of juice, you don't want that. That'd be bad.
I'm not good at not hurting things, but I'll try and keep that in mind.
Yes.
You
So
have to work
maybe-
really hard to hurt it.
Sounds like a challenge.
no, you stay in the back of the carpet. You stay in the back.
Well, that's gonna weigh the back down. It might end
I
up.
will
Oh,
turn this
goodness.
carpet around.
It's still just
So
rolled
happy.
up on the ground right now. Like Sugar has unfolded it, so it's just this. It's a very nice red and gold patterned carpet, and so far it's just been sitting on the dirt.
All right. Simedes goes over, sits cross-legged, and folds his arms ready.
I
I believe we're
will
doing
attempt to command the carpet.
Excellent.
Fly.
You guys all get on the carpet. Yeah, Ryland, you instinctually know it's just gonna follow your verbal commands, and you tell it what to do. And as soon as you tell it to fly, it obediently lifts off the ground about a foot. You all feel it rising below you. It's fairly stable. It doesn't move terribly fast. Let's see. You guys have the 5x7, so it's gonna move 40 feet in a round. But it's gonna move at a good clip. Nemrit speaks up and says, now you should be able to go about as fast as the Tarrasque is going right now, so you should be okay, but try not to get in front of it, because it'll just bowl through you, and try to avoid its legs, because sharp claws and everything, and it doesn't know what it's doing. It's kind of like a brain-dead puppy right now, so you just have to assume that it doesn't want to hurt you, but it might, and it could just
That's
accidentally kill you.
so
Favorite kind of
sad.
puppy.
Ryland. Yeah. All right.
Did you
So Ryland's
have
going
any
to
other
talk.
questions? Oh,
I
go ahead.
don't think so. This sounds about the as crazy as it could possibly get. But I'm super excited to be doing this with my brothers. We're spending a whole day together. It's going to be great. I think we've got it.
Yeah.
It'll be
I
fine.
think-
She won't go unsupervised. So I tell everyone. I'll always be here. I'll be watching.
Because you love me.
Something like that. Let's jump on the carpet and let's be away. Let's
If
go
it all does-
investigate brain machines on Tarrasque. This is a kind of adventure that I excel in.
If it all does go to the 9 hells, then we'll go down fighting.
That's
And our
the
names
spirit.
will be recorded in history forever.
Well, no,
Kingdom's
because the
not
world
there.
will be over and
This is
yeah,
true.
nobody's writing it down. So
And our bard is not
good
there.
job bringing down the vibes, Diomedes. Let's go.
Well, there's nice tassels on the end of this thing, at least.
Oh, they're
Is it
lovely
like a
tassels.
soft one? Is it like fluffy, or is it like a doormat?
It's interesting where you sit as the carpet obediently follows Ryland's directions and rises up and starts to head towards this creature. Where you're sitting feels very solid, like almost a wooden chair. But you can see where you're not sitting, and especially the tassels all around the sides, they kind of flap a little bit in the breeze. And there's a little bit of like a gentle waviness going on. When you put your hand down as though you were to use it to leverage to get up, it almost immediately firms up under your hand and
Ooh.
offers you a steady space. There's no railings, and at 40 feet per second, you feel like standing up could be dangerous, but it feels solid. You don't feel
Cool.
like it's going to let you go at any point.
Diomedes, being used to flight, instead finds more entertainment playing with the tassels.
Leave
It is-
those
it is-
alone. They're important.
It is quite fun. All right, you guys fly up into the air, heading towards this gargantuan creature. It is also at this point that I'm going to share with you what I was calling this episode. Welcome to episode 4. Let me Tarrasque you something.
Oh!
I've been waiting
I
to do that.
feel that one. I feel that
Yeah.
one.
Wow.
I'm a wonderful person, and y'all should hate me. All right, you guys head towards it. It takes like 30 minutes flying at full speed to get even close to this thing. And you can see now, gargantuan is not a big enough word for the size of this beast. It easily towers over the town. It is not coming up in... There we go.
God,
I'm trying
is
to
there a
share it
picture
with
for
everybody.
scale?
Oh, yes.
A lot bigger.
Cool.
You estimate as you get a little bit closer to this thing might be 750 feet from tip to tail.
Oh,
It is massive. It is stories upon stories tall. If you did not have this carpet, getting up to it could be an interesting climb for sure. The beast moves slowly. It's almost as though it's moving through molasses, but you do notice every once in a while there's like a pause. And then it keeps going. And from as you start to approach and kind of are keeping level with it, you do see a faint glow coming off the top of its head. You're not quite sure what exactly it is, but it seems to be the location that you've been told where this device is. You do have the option of approaching from any direction. How would you like to approach the Tarrasque?
I think we should get... I think we should get higher. High.
And from the back, like they said.
Yes. I think approaching it from the face would be more dangerous. Let's sneak up on it from behind.
Just going to,
Sure.
just not that one. Check it.
Are you actually
Making
sneaking?
intelligence save. I can
No,
fly.
I'm just thinking aloud.
Okay.
trying
Thinking
to-
aloud with dice.
Which is basically the same thing.
I'm rolling intelligence checks for Diomedes to know if he's smart enough to come from the point of the sun where the the light will block the vision so that we're silhouetted and won't be visible. But he's not smart enough to come up with that crazy cool.
You're looking for
Did it 3 times.
I just. That'd be
Well,
good.
yeah,
though.
alright.
Free saves, all of them below.
Terrible.
All of them super terrible. Yet you are so awed by the sheer immensity of this beast that all you can think of is, wow, that's big.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than what we thought.
It's
So
it
yes,
is-
maybe.
it would step on the village.
Right.
He rivals
Yes.
Baphomet himself.
I think if we could get an aerial view of the machine from up high, that might get us a better idea of what exactly we're dealing with here. If there are loose magical cables or faulty-looking quantum core.
Yeah, I just nod with big eyes.
You know, he kind of looks really happy on the
It does.
map.
He looks like exactly
Like
little face.
really-
Like a smiley.
So I'll say that you kind of do a quick quote unquote pass around and way above it just to kind of get a good view. You do see this large device. It seems to be massive. It might be like 5 or 6 feet by 5 or 6 feet in diameter, buried into its forehead. And yeah, you do see the eyes are a little glazed over, and it's got kind of a little bit of a stoned grin on its face. It's kind of what? Give me a flight path. Give me a flight path, Rylan. Where would you like to approach from? What would you like to go over? How would you like to? Where would you like to land?
Okay. So we're gonna be like the red arrows. We're gonna come in from, I think, just like follow the curvature of the tail,
Right.
and just kind of like swing around because it's not gonna be able to look over its shoulder and see us, and then just kind of fly through the center of it until we can get up to the kind of scales on its back, because it looks like there's stuff going on there that might be related to the device. So just follow the tail up and around.
Is the tail swishing around right now? Or is it kind of just dragged across the floor?
It's up off the ground and it does swish back and forth, kind of in parallel to the ground. It's relatively slow, but it does back as it's walking and forth. But you could pretty easily come in a trajectory, follow basically tip to tail all the way up if you'd like. It's not moving fast enough to be a problem.
Okay. I defer to my
Alright.
brother's best, deduction of
Yeah,
this.
if it looks like it's dangerous to get close to the tail, then we'll probably try and avoid it. But just main intention to come from behind and follow up the back.
Sure.
Rumble?
You aim up the tail. How high above the creature would you like to remain?
I think we're getting in closer, like a plane.
As
coming
we
in.
go,
As we
we go to the head, we get closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. All right, your strafing run begins as you soar over the tail. You can see now that you're a little bit closer, you can see the ridges on the back of this thing are thick, like dragon scale thickness, orange and yellow. They're cracked and covered in dirt and just random bits of stuff that's flown at it over the past 100 years or so. It doesn't seem to react to your presence at all. You swoop around, you start to come up from the base of the tail. You get to its hip area where its back widens into a good 130, 140 feet wide before even the legs begin. It lands another claw as it moves forward, and now that you're above it, the distant rumble of thunder that it was before turns into a gigantic boom as this thing lands on the ground. And you can see behind it there are footprints that have been left in the Deadlands for miles. You can even see that this thing looks like it's been landing in the same tracks over and over again. So it's not a divot in the ground. It is sets of tracks that over dozens and dozens of years have been pressed into the earth, leaving these giant footprints that are just indents in the ground that are permanent parts of this area now. As you reach over the center part of the hips, I need you all to roll some perception checks.
Whee!
Let's see what we can see. Probably not much.
9.
That is. Oh,
Good. Thank God. Nice.
Excellent. Sugar, you're too busy looking at the tracks, kind of taking in the giantness of this creature. But your brothers see the arrows coming with enough time to dodge.
Arrows?
So, yeah.
Arrow.
Why will? Oh yes, there are arrows flying at your face.
Mhm.
Trying to fly at your face anyway. You are. Let's see.
All right. I'll bring out my shield.
All right. That.
Incoming.
I love how everything got intense now.
Things are happening.
Ugh.
Only a +4. Okay, so Ziomedes, that was an 18 versus your AC,
That's
and Rylan, that was 22 versus your AC.
Yup.
Yeah. So a hail of arrows heads towards you guys as you fly over. Oh, come on, Tarrasque, get out of my way. My Tarrasque is in the way of everything. There we go.
Yes.
As they are wont to be.
Right.
As they are wont to be. So that's against Diomedes, and that's against Rylan. So 7 against Diomedes, 6 against Rylan. Piercing damage as these arrows go flying on by. Diomedes, you kind of are able to see them coming, so it's not, you only get hit by one of them. Rylan, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yeah. I'm not good at these. Oh, maybe I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, you get +4 anyway.
You're right. Yep. 25.
Excellent. For a briefest of moment, the pain flashes through you, and you kind of lose your concentration on controlling the carpet, but immediately get it back. You kind of dip for just a briefest of moment. You'll feel your stomach plunge as the carpet goes whoop, about half a foot, but you quickly wrest control, and you can now see below you, hidden within the folds of the Tarrasque. Come on. This thing is
We're
so
under attack.
big that it's hard for me to move it around. Do that. Okay. Hidden, previously hidden within the folds of this thing, but now revealing themselves, you see look like lizard folk. You see a bunch of them behind some of the spines of this creature. You see one of them positioned kind of on the very front spine, facing out towards you, holding what looks like a staff, and it calls out to you in common and says, "Intruders! Leave this holy place now, or we will destroy you!"
No! I'm going to destroy you, in fact, and then control your bodies with your own device.
Or we could talk about it maybe before more arrows happen, please.
They don't look like they want to negotiate.
Well,
Like,
they'd probably still be firing arrows if they didn't want to negotiate. You want to talk real quick, just to get on the same page? This might be pretty dangerous.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
He's did an awesome job on this map.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Doing a little bit of positioning here.
20.
He thinks a little bit about your words. This lizard creature in they look like bright orange robes holding this staff. It considers your words and says, "Land, and we will discuss terms."
Ooh.
Do you promise not to shoot us or anything else like that if we land peacefully?
If you are not here to harm this beautiful creature, then we can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Might be
You
worth
land?
a try. These imbeciles could be brought to heel.
Bring us down then.
All right, I'll bring us down a safe distance away from
Okay.
these guys.
Yep. Wherever you would like to land, go ahead and just place yourselves on its back.
Okay. So yeah, about where
How where you
we
guys
are
are?
here, I guess. Yeah, maybe a little bit further ahead.
Sure. You bring the carpet on down, and you can see that there's a bunch of these lizard creatures. They're all most of them are ducked behind some of these scales that go up the sides of the Tarrasque. The one that had been shouting out to you watches you land and kind of regards you for a moment, and then calls something out to one of the lizard folk nearby, and a figure approaches, a single lizard folk. This one seems to be in what you almost think might be a priestly garb, with a elaborate headdress and a staff. And it approaches you warily and kind of stops about 20 feet away and says, "What business do you have on top of the great beast?"
Bob?
We're a repairman.
Pull out
There
the
is no
arrow.
repair that-
People. We're the repair people, Rylan.
Snap the
What
arrow
did you-
away from my chest. So, not so much for a warning shot.
Yes, if we had wanted to kill you, we would have sent more arrows, but
See, that's what I said.
you have a moment to speak. What are you here to repair?
The device on the creature's head.
And it growls a little bit and it says, "That is what we are here to make sure you are not to touch. It is finally dying, and this creature will be released into it to do its natural work."
Which is to destroy the world as we know it.
Perhaps. But
Well,
that is
I
for the
like-
creature to decide.
I like destruction as much as the next. Man, villain, creature, abomination, monster, but at the same time, the device has done good work. Stopped a lot of people from dying, which personally I don't care for, but others do. And whilst the beast is tamed so, good research can be done upon it. We can learn about it. While it's out there rampaging and killing everything else, it makes it more difficult for me to study it.
But it is a divine being sent by the gods. It is a natural creature meant to roam free. We cannot dominate it. We cannot imprison it. We shackle it with magic. It is not right. It is not natural.
Well,
This
that
person
is...
makes a good point.
He does. And at the same time, what we are here to do is the exact opposite of what he wants us to do. And I don't fancy much bowing to the ideas of a foolish and, let's face it, statistically less intelligent race.
It hears you and
I'm-
growls at you.
I
Someone
step
had
It
to
forward.
say
growls.
it.
It
We
seems
too are
quite
divine beings. We're divine beings. We're
I mean, we
astral.
are. Yes, we are super divine. It's cool.
Then
Thank you, yeah.
Then you, of all creatures, should know the will of the gods must be respected.
The will of
Which
mine.
god? Which
The will of
god?
mine
Because we
is
have
part
some.
of them.
We have some different gods here that we worship.
You know, say like
Your
the will of mine.
god, my god, his god, his god. Which one? Oh, all of them?
This creature is sent by its own deity and is should be able to complete its task as it sees fit. To subvert its mind is evil and unconscionable, and against its own will.
I mean, yeah,
We
kinda.
only seek to see it free. If it, in its glory, decides to bring destruction upon this world, then is it not up to us to deal with that? But this is a perversion of the natural order.
Well,
Destruction
there's free
is-
will, and then there is imbecile lizard folk trying to destroy the world.
Mindless destruction is the opposite of order.
Yes,
It is only mindless
mindless
because
destruction is creative destruction. Now that's an entirely different thing. If you were saying we have one town in particular of stupid goblins or wolf people or that you want to destroy with it, that's creative destruction. Channel the destruction. What you want is just to destroy everything, which really does hamper a lot of what I'm trying to do here.
Indeed.
it is only
I can
mindless
understand.
because... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I understand rage, but focused rage is what is important. Mindless destruction will lead to nothing.
I don't think they're really into destruction. They seem to be into, not lobotomizing a creature that should be able to make its own choices.
But it
Guys,
doesn't.
Choices about destroying the entire world.
maybe.
Says it is only mindless because it has been made mindless. Once the device has run its course and this magnificent beast is free again, then we will see what it is really here to do.
Well, maybe we could at least take a look at it. We keep talking, and maybe if we agree with you, we remove it.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm going to use something. I'm going to use Emissary of Peace,
Okay.
which is my divine something or other. Channel Divinity. I can add +5 to
Doesn't
persuasion checks.
Oh, it just helps you persuade things? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he considered,
So-
when you mentioned removing the device for the first time, he's like, huh.
Okay, and then I'll add +5 to whatever this is. So 21.
What the heck?
He regards you for a moment and says, you would help us to free this creature.
If we keep talking about it and we think it's the right decision, I'm definitely willing to hear you out. I think that's only fair.
You know what?
You make a very good point.
If this device is powerful and useful enough that I might be able to take it home, use it upon other creatures, beings, whoever I want to subject to my will, then very well we may have a deal. For science,
What
of
you
course.
do-
Purely for science, I mean.
If you would help us remove or destroy this device, then what you do with it is up to you. But the subjugation of other creatures is unconscionably evil.
I can conscience it.
I agree with you, not you, Rylan, the other person I'm talking to.
Do
Do you have a name?
The lizard creature gives you a slight nod, like almost a bow, but like a bow of I don't want to take my eyes off of you just yet, and says,
Fair.
I am Shaman
I get that
Thirst.
back all the
I
time.
am a first shaman to Leader Druxel, and we are here to make sure this creature is freed of the shackles that bind it.
Shaman, what was it again?
Shaman Thrusts.
Thrusts. No
Thrusts.
T. Got it. Thank you. You're too much. Okay. Sure.
I
Yeah,
thrust my
let's-
shamanistic powers.
I mean,
He
it's
regards you
turning
for a
into
moment.
that.
It's a shaman
and
jiggle.
It says, I do not have the authority to let you see or encounter the device, but you may approach our leader and plead your intentions. And he motions you to step forward and head towards where the original gentleman that he's pointing out to you, Leader Droxel, has been standing on top of this spine from the Tarrasque, and he will kind of walk forward, ushering you forward, but still keeping an eye on all of you. Would you like to follow him?
Oh, yeah. I stride forward. My weapons are
Stay
drawn.
within 10 feet of me. Come here, Rylan.
All right. You guys all walk forward. You do see that there are quite a few lizard men up here. All of them are in varying states of readiness. Some of them seem to be a little more relaxed now that this shaman has brought you forward, but most of them are giving you wary looks. As you approach, the leader, Droxel, says, "And you come to entreat, do you? What would you ask?"
Could we, keep talking about how to maybe help you guys and make everyone happy? Take a look at the device. My brother, he is very smart, and he might be able to assist in removing it if that seems to be the best course of action. And he could do it safely without harming it. If the thing just breaks down, it may release some, I don't know, magic thing into its brain. That would also be bad.
Possible that may happen is that a magical and or electrical discharge will resonate throughout the creature's brain, rendering it either dead, useless, or in a worse state than it currently is now. When dealing with such magical devices, one has to be very careful. I myself have done extensive research and experiments upon various different creatures much smaller than this, usually halflings, but Nyla tried it out once. And never have we ever ran into any kind of problem such as that, but the possibilities are always there.
Rylan, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage because of Sugar helping out.
Let's see. Persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah, you're speaking this lizard man's language right now.
Yes.
That's
nice.
an 18.
Nice. It nods and says, "If removal will bring harm, then we are happy to leave it and run its natural course. Soon, this thing will die, and the creature will be released. But if you believe you can remove it and expedite that process, then we welcome you." And with those words, you see all the lizardmen kind of relax a little bit more and stop being overtly hostile. Droxel moves down out of your view and off this big spine and comes around and motions to you and says, "Come, I will show you this accursed device." And he starts to move towards the front of the creature.
Cuckoo.
He and his shaman buddy are gonna move. You guys have to do a little bit of climbing as you come off of the Tarrasque's back and move down its ridges towards its head. There's a moment in where it takes another step and the whole creature shakes. And I need you all to make strength saving throws, please.
Yay.
Yeah.
My favorite
I
type of
hope
stuff.
so.
See how strong I am.
Oh, I don't know why it did that at disadvantage. That's not what... It does my strength saves. Okay, I'll just roll a regular check.
Yeah.
Because it always does my saves at disadvantage for some reason. Oh, it just did it again. Ugh. Okay. I don't know why.
There's a lot of rolling going on. Zymedes, what'd you get?
I got a 23.
Nice. Rylan, what'd you get?
6.
And Sugar, did we figure out what you got?
I think the highest thing I rolled was a 10, if I saw it right, so it would have been 12 if it didn't roll my strength at disadvantage.
That seems to make sense. All right, you guys are making your way down the plates on the back of this thing's neck. They're moving slightly, and they're as big as steps. As you are making your way down, the creature lands on the ground with another heavy thoosh. Ziomedes and Sugar, Ziomedes, you kind of ride this thing. You feel its movement. You kind of anticipate the footfall, and you're just there, no problem. Sugar, you get a little unsteady, but you manage to kind of hold on to a part of the ridge and hold yourself steady. Rylan, this is not a ride that you are happy with, and you start to fall down the side of this creature. You go to take a step and just lose your balance and start to slip.
Brother, no! I try to grab onto him if I can.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Okay, just straight dex.
Yeah, you're just trying to be quick about this.
Okay, 11.
Yeah, you kind of grab his collar real quick, like he goes down and you're like, whoop, and you kind of grab him. Rylan, go ahead and make another strength check. Strength saving throw as you try to steady yourself.
Oh, baby! That's right. Just carry up with my neck muscles like super fucking like just...
There's something about the feel of your brother grabbing you by the scruff of the neck that just inspires you to just clamp down on the side of this creature, and you do not move. And after a moment of steadying yourself, you all get back up again. You can see the lizard folk have continued forward down several more steps and have made it to the base of this creature's head.
We may have the carpet, brother, but for safety, I should suggest that you hold on to this. Give him the other end of a rope, and I'll tie it around my waist.
Good idea.
Okay.
And I'll
are you
leave.
going to hold on to it, or are you going to also secure yourself?
Yeah, it's up to you. You want to tie yourself?
Yeah, Rylan will like tie around himself.
Okay.
So he's like, if they die together.
Oh, I can fly. That's the thing.
This is true.
I'll hopefully get down.
I can also miss these steps, so if it goes badly, I'm out of there.
All right.
Well, do you want me to hold on to the carpet then? Or...
Sure, you're doing the way back, aren't you?
Oh, right. Good point.
And they've
All right, you kind of rolled up the carpet and we're bringing it along.
Yeah, it's on the shoulder.
Yeah, you guys reach the head, and now you have a very clear view of this giant orb embedded into this creature's skull. It's giving off a blue light that's flickering, and I'd like you all to roll investigation checks as you take a look at it. The two lizardmen stop about 20 feet from it, and you kind of get the sense they don't necessarily want you getting too much closer.
Wow.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
Investigation.
17.
Investigation.
That's very unlike Ziomedes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Rylan and Sugar, you notice the flickering is obvious. It's not a consistent glow. You even notice that at one point the creature stops and pauses, and at just that moment, the flickering on this orb, it's almost as though the light has dimmed a little bit, and then it flickers again and brightens a little bit, and the Tarrasque starts to move. Ziomedes, as you notice this, you also notice around the side of this orb, the west side, you see a hairline crack about 2.5 feet long that it doesn't seem to be spidering or getting any bigger, but there's definitely something leaking out of it.
Oh. I'll point it out to my siblings. I'm like, I'll say it quietly so the lizard folk don't hear either. I'll say, looks like the device is damaged. See that crack on the left side?
Is it oozing or whatever's coming out of it, and whatever the glow is it the same color that the bottle is? That blue?
Yes.
Cool.
As
Cool.
you guys stop and take a look at this thing, Droxel points to it and says, "The evils of technology that must be destroyed to release this magnificent beast."
Yes, quite.
Right.
Um,
Mind if I take a closer look at this part here? So I've hit out the pipe.
Yeah, the leader gives you kind of a little bit of a side eye and then nods, and will let you walk on forward.
I want to take a close look at the fracture and what's coming out of it.
Sure. I'll roll an Arcana check.
Arcana, okay, I will.
Stay between you two.
That's a natural
Nice.
20.
Nice.
Yes.
Rolls today.
Always drink to a natural 20. All right. You
Yeah.
approach, hearing with your arcane knowledge and lore swirling through your head. This device is amazing. Like how the gnome and the elves were able to construct this thing. You think you could spend years examining this. It seems to be almost like a perpetually a spell scroll that's perpetually happening all the time. Like you see it just going off, and you think the flashes might be this thing casting. It's kind of impressive. You only really know about these kind of high level spells needing a person to be able to affect a monster. So the fact that this thing has worked for as long as it has is amazing. You think the housing is some kind of glass, but it's incredibly thick and strong. And yeah, whatever is inside of this thing is obviously the same viscous liquid that you've got in your bottle. Well, the residue that's coming out of it from the crack, it's a very slow leak. It's not dribbling out. It's not coming out in waves. It's very slow. And you can see at the very top of this dome a little gap where enough of it has leaked out that obviously it's started to drain. And you suspect that you might have, at this rate, maybe another day or two before it gets about halfway empty. And it could take 4 or 5 days to completely drain. But you think that if this is what's powering the device, that maybe within a day there won't be enough energy to keep the spell going. And your knowledge of Dominate Monster, as soon as this thing can resist the effect, there's nothing else that this orb can do. It'll be free from its influence, and you will have to deal with the Tarrasque.
Right. I'll explain this to the party and say, this thing is running out of power. Perhaps in the next 3 or 4 days, perhaps even sooner than that, this thing will be completely free.
And
So
You
the
said
leader
that to
Droxel-
us?
I'd probably say it to everyone.
Yeah,
They're close enough to probably hear
Droxel,
us.
well, he is super happy, and he grins, big toothy lizard grin, and says, "This is outstanding news. We are pleased to hear. Within a day or so, this thing will be freed."
Do I...
Don't celebrate just yet. And how did you get up here anyway? You don't have wings?
No, we took the climb. And he indicates the shaman next to him, who's got what looks like pitons and rope and like a pack on his back. And many fell in the attempt, but we were successful.
That's pretty badass. Good job.
Do I think that I could
Thank you.
fix the fracture?
You think that you could try. You're not sure if it's something that you would need arcane knowledge or mechanical mending knowledge. It's very possible you'd have to do a little bit more fine detail work and actually try a few things. But You think it's possible. You don't think the mechanism itself is broken. You think it's just the housing.
Got some linen cloth we could stuff it, Phil.
Well, Rylan, do you think that maybe that crack, though, could be doing something bad to the creature? It keeps looking kind of pained every time it stops. So maybe at least we should fix that so, in case it's hurting it, it might be seeping into its brain.
This is true. The fluids, arcane fluids from this fracture may very well be seeping into the creature's brain. It may not be the same being that it may not have all of its mind. The juices may be destroying brain cells, or worse, corrupting it into some way. Very dangerous stuff, very scientific things are happening.
Do you believe all of this, or are you trying to deceive these creatures?
I think we're trying to deceive the GM at this point.
I
because
think
I'm gonna.
Rylan is bluffing, but he thinks
Okay.
it's within the realms of possibility.
Because I need you to either roll a
I don't think
persuasion
it's
or a
really-
deception check at this point, but it depends on whether Rylan is bullshitting or not. I'll let you decide.
Yeah, I think he's more lying than he is telling the truth. Because he
Alright.
hasn't got any evidence to say. He's like, this is all conjecture, basically. Like,
Yeah.
could grow wings and fly away. It's a 14.
Droxel looks at you and says, if you repair the crack, then it would stop the leak, and this thing may never cease its endless casting.
That
I
might
think
be
most
true.
of the fluid's out already, though. I think it's doing
There
its
is-
job.
There
I mean,
is
like,
much
you see
more
it's like half, though. I think it's already working.
He looks at you and says, your knowledge of how empty or full a glass is flawed. This is clearly, there's only a little
It's
bit on
subjective.
the top of this.
So
No, it's
Absolutely
empirical. We can very
subjective.
clearly
Oh,
see.
No,
empty.
I say it's half full / empty. I say it's half empty because I'm very pessimistic.
I'm gonna go up the horn and look at his face and see what does the expression on the Tarrasque say? Is it half full or half empty? Is he a pessimist or is he an optimist?
All right,
Everyone-
I'm gonna need you to make an athletics check as you climb this horn. The horn's
Okay,
gonna raise up off this thing, so give me an athletics check.
no problem. I'm gonna just kind of get an idea of if this is in pain or not.
Sure.
Athletics, here we go. Hmm. Well, even with a 4, it's still an 11. Okay.
It's got this glassy-eyed, like it's.
Well, that's the athletics.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, the athletics. So yeah, so you climb up. It's not your best climb, but yeah, you get up there and you take a look, and yeah, it's glassy-eyed, and it kind of looks like it had way too much to drink, and it's just kind of got that dumb as it plods along. It doesn't look like it's in pain, but it is obviously not. It has no. Its mind is blank. If there is any intelligence normally to this creature, there's nothing right now. But it doesn't look like it's in pain.
I call back. Looks like a half full kind of guy. I think he's
Good. Well, that's on the other hand, I look back to the shaman. That might not be such a good thing. It is half full.
It looks merry. He looks like he's had a bit too much drink, but not a crazy amount. Can I also see something from up here? I want to look at its teeth and try to determine whether it's eaten recently or not, or if it indeed at all. Because
roll.
a creature this size must require sustenance, in my head.
All right, give me 2
Just
rolls. I
maybe-
want a perception check to look at its teeth, and give me a nature check to see how much you know
All right.
about these.
Natural
Excellent.
20.
Anybody?
Look at the
Natural
teeth.
20. Eh?
Oh, boy.
Let's have a look at the nature side of things. -2, 10. So
Nailed it.
You get a really good look at this creature, and the teeth look surprisingly gleaming white. Like it hasn't eaten anything in 100 years. Doesn't look starved, doesn't look anemic or weak. You know, it's slowed, but you can see that it's still powerful. There's still muscle. There's still power behind it. It does not look like something that hasn't eaten in 100 years. The little you know about Tarrasques are all fairy tales and stories about them being summoned as beings to help bring about the end of the world, and that they will wreath a path of destruction, that from there some cultures believe a new world will grow and some just believe it's the end of the world. So you have no idea. You hear about them, the stories talk about their destructive capabilities, but as machines of just annihilation, but not necessarily consumption.
Right. Might not need to eat.
You
I'm gonna
no
try and
idea what this thing.
Right. I'm gonna try and come back down the horn safely.
Sure, roll a dexterity check.
Oh, dexterity this time. I'll go.
Yep, you climb up, you slide down.
11.
Yeah, you slide on down. It's not a 3-point superhero landing. It's a little wobbly, especially since this thing is still moving. But yeah, you slide down without a problem. Kind of land next to your friends.
Well, doesn't look like you need to eat. No signs of anything like. Alright, go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna whisper to the other two. I'm not sure I can fix this on my own. We may need the help of the other two down there. Do we want to fix it? It rather seems like it's quite a pressing thing to do.
Yeah.
But then for a moment we were all very, let's love animals. And let's
have a huddle. Let me have a huddle over here.
Yeah, I assume we're talking in Celestial.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, perfect. Alright, yeah, we'll talk in Celestial and convene.
Two lizard folk are looking at you curiously, but they don't seem to understand what you're saying.
So, right, well, I don't think this is something like an animal. I don't think this is doing harm against a natural being.
It's sedating.
Something else entirely. Like a divine being that just embodies destruction. It's not necessarily a creature that's being held against its will. It's a force of like a divine force, I feel.
Right, it's
so you're pro-fixing it, anti-fixing it.
Oh,
I'm
saying if we don't, I think we might die.
Yes.
I'm saying it's not animal cruelty. It's not an animal. It's not a beast.
Well, who cares if it is?
For example, would you say that avoiding a tidal wave is an act of evil? Would you say that stopping a volcano from exploding is an act of evil?
I don't care about good or evil, Ziomedes. He's going to eat everything around and everyone we like, and it's going to stop me from being able to do my science if we don't let it keep being
and
controlled.
It will stomp on Trinkle and Nyla, Ziomedes.
That's right, it will definitely stomp on Trinkle. I will dimension door Nyla away, but I won't be able to save Trinkle.
What I'm saying is I'm not against keeping this thing under lock and key.
I'm in a similar place. I think the only thing to do is to fix it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to easily do it. There are a lot of lizard folk that will be hard to convince.
And they keep inching up on us.
Yes,
you do notice that as this conversation has been happening, that the rest of the clan has kind of curiously followed. They've stayed a respectful, you think, distance behind, and they are not actively drawing weapons or looking aggressive, but it seems to be more curious than anything.
So, to be clear, I don't really have any mending magic, so I'm probably not able to fix this. But it's possible that no woman back there would be able to. Perhaps we could fly back and come back again with them, take out the lizardmen that get in our way, and fix the machine. I think the lizard folk will have to die in this.
Speak of mending, I have this. I pull out. I raise up the necklace, the pair of wound closure that Twinkle gave me. If you click it in the chat, you'll see it does. I don't know. It does healing, but I don't know if that'll work on a mechanism.
It stabilizes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a creature, just like lay on hands. Doesn't work on constructs, or I would have tried that.
Sure.
Like on a actual metal part.
Yes. As Asimars, we will have the ability to do some
Right.
healing, but I don't think this will work in this case. So my best advice would be to tell them that we're happy to leave it alone, and then come back and murder all of them.
Right. And we'll just
Fine with that, Sugar?
Huh?
You fine with that, Sugar?
I don't know.
Well,
That's
it
very
doesn't matter.
nice
It's
I've
probably
ever
going to
heard.
happen anyway.
I mean,
I
it
mean-
seems like a.
It's a utilitarian thing. If we kill all of these lizard folk now, then we're not responsible for the deaths of millions.
Yes, I don't like being responsible for deaths of large groups of anyone.
You get used
Okay,
to it,
yes.
But certainly, this scale would be difficult.
No, I mean, I've had experience. I just don't like it.
Oh, good. Yes, me
this
too.
point-
No, I don't either.
At this point, the shaman that had originally spoken to you steps up a little bit, does a you
Hi.
speak. You speak much, but what have you found?
Everything is going to be okay. It looks like the fluid is draining out well, and doing so fairly safely as well. If I were you, I would lower the guard around here and just wait for the end of the world. Maybe get a party together. End of the world drinks kind of gathering. Maybe we could come back with some gifts to you, the new rulers of this world. We have
We are
alcohol.
not the rulers. The Tarrasque will decide who lives and who dies. But this is excellent news. Then the wound that we made upon this device has worked the way we wanted, and it is not causing the Tarrasque harm. Then we can continue our work.
Yes,
and
you are so
the
clever
shaman-
and learned.
The shaman calls
Perhaps-
over some of his companions. The lizard folk move up. You hear some of them like, "Hey, all right, yeah, we're gonna get a party." And you see one of them is pulling out what looks like a very large, almost a sledgehammer, as he moves up and moves towards the crack. And you hear the shaman mentioning, our new friends have confirmed that we are causing this device to fail, and this will not cause the Tarrasque harm. If we can expand the crack, we can make it fail faster and bring about the freedom of this creature. And the
Rylan,
lizard
say
man-
something.
Yes. I like getting out my wand at this point, and I'm pointing it at the device as if I'm going to help out as well. I will use my magic to destroy
That's a
it.
great idea. We could help out with it.
Yes, or get our weapons out.
Right.
Good
Lizard
idea.
folk nods to you like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna have some help in this. You wonder if this has been the only guy that's been pounding away on this thing, and he pulls out his hammer and he's
It's like the
just
one
walking
guy.
up through the device.
You get-
I stopped him. I go,
Ladies, you get him. We'll get. I'll
I've
protect
got
the
a
crack.
bunch of them in a line.
I nod, and I go up to the guy with the sledgehammer, and I look him up and down, and I kind of flex and puff up my chest, and I go, please. And I offer to hold the sledgehammer and hold out my hand as if his meager, tiny lizard body cannot possibly scatter this thing.
This lizard man looks you up and down as well. You are taller than he is, but he is wider than you. He looks pretty powerful. He gives you a and he hefts the hammer a little bit, and then he kind of nods over at the crack and says, "You take one side, I take the other, eh?" And he starts to move towards the crack again.
I say, this is a job for a divine being. If you think this thing is of a divine nature, then you should let an Asama take this on. I pound my fists together as if, like, this is my duty.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, okay. Already wanted that to be an intimidation, but I'll try.
No, you're trying to persuade him to let you. This is more persuasion.
Oh,
He's not
sure.
intimidated by you. You're trying to persuade him to let you have the honors.
Yeah, I guess. All right, let's roll persuasion. 6.
You say
Skipped
this,
on
and
day.
he looks back over at the crack and he says, "You can start on the other side." And he's gonna keep moving forward. He gets up next to the device.
I look back at Ryan as he at the ready with his wand, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like this,
I look
and
back.
then both
Yeah.
ones.
Then I look to Sugar. I see what she's doing to ready herself.
She's just standing
I'm-
there. Everyone's just waiting.
No,
Everyone's
I've
just
got my
except for this
hands out.
lizard
As soon as he swings it up, I'm casting Shield of Faith on the creature, like where the crack is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast ready in action to cast lightning bolt down this line.
Does she? Okay. I like all these things. Does Shield of Faith work on an object?
It says
He's
it
not-
surrounds a creature of your choice within range. So I was thinking, I mean, the device is like embedded in him, right?
This is true. All right, I'll let you. Yeah. Well, the
It's
crack
cheeky.
is like a few feet above this creature, but you're right that
Uh-huh.
it's embedded in it. Does Shield of Faith just happen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this guy is going to try to. He's kind of oblivious to what's going on, and he's going to swing up his sledgehammer and try to bring it down.
I can't allow attacking him. That's it. We're gonna go. It's just a tackle. I'm gonna have to.
I cast lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
the idea, guys. We're doing the plan.
Yeah,
We're doing it.
plan.
The
This is
plan
the
is
plan.
happening.
This is the
is
plan.
happening. All right, let's do the ready in action, and then we'll roll initiative. So, Zymedes, go ahead and roll your attack, and Rylan, roll your attack. We'll see if this
Okay,
guy
these-
survives that. If he does, then we'll do the Shield of Faith fun.
Okay, these
Okay,
four need to
sure.
make a dexterity save.
And he needs to. The guy with the sledgehammer can
Oh.
roll his choice of athletics or acrobatics as I try to grapple him to the ground. Whoa.
Okay,
Yeah.
that okay.
Should be raging,
Let's
by the way.
start-
What is it?
So, number 2 needs to roll an athletics or acrobatics. You said?
Yeah, his choice. Grapple.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. Oh, he's
Oh,
gonna
thank
fail
God.
that. He's gonna super
That's
fail that.
strength.
And then these guys, Rylan, what was that saving throw they need to make?
Yeah.
Dexterity.
Dex.
All right, Shaman number 1. Saving throw. That is a 10. That probably fails.
Yeah, DC 14.
Oh yeah, the one that's in charge. Oh yeah, he
Hey.
fails.
Nice,
Okay.
nice, Rylan.
And also number 3 and number 4 make Dex saving throws. Yeah, they
Fail?
all fail. They all super duper fail. So give me some damage for everybody. Holy
They'll
mackerel.
take 26 points of damage.
Awesome.
Lightning.
Awesome.
All right, and with that, we can definitely roll initiative.
Okay.
Die! For science.
The honor will be mine. Let me swing the hammer.
you actually have forgotten what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And you're like
I'm-
just more upset that you haven't gotten the chance to. We're killing them all.
Everyone's just waiting
Zymedes.
on each other. It's fun.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I'm gonna roll with advantage anyway, but I'm gonna rage on my
Nice.
side.
I'm gonna go before these guys.
21.
Woo-wee.
Nyla, because they are out shopping.
Yeah. Really wish Trickle was around. Feather
All right,
us back.
Ziomedes, you get to go first. So
All right.
you are grappling with this lizard folk in front of you. He's holding onto his hammer.
I want to
said
swing
that
the
I would go
hammer.
first.
No, it's me. I'm doing it. God, it will be mine. I drag him towards the edge. And
Toward the edge of the Tarrasque?
Yeah, the edge.
Oh,
of,
shit.
like, because I've gotten grappled, I can use half my movement. I'm gonna rage, of course, first. So, roar! No, it's
Yeah.
my turn. So I'm gonna rage, drag him over, and I'm gonna see if I can try and use the rest of my movement to toss him over the edge.
Okay, so the actual edge of the creature is quite a bit away. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About 35 feet from where you are to like a drop-off point. You could try to get
really?
closer and like, oh yeah. Like each of those lines are basically like another step down towards the mouth of this creature. It's a big head.
Oh, okay. Let me just look at the picture again. Oh, I see. Yeah. Those heads really flat looking.
Yeah, it's basically just the horns that go up. Everything else, all the lines are basically like a step down into, like, okay, I'll say the top of its mouth, 5, 10, 30, about 35 feet to like the top of its snout and its mouth, and then 45 to get to an actual edge to throw him and hear a Wilhelm scream.
Okay. All right, then. Can I then... I can use my movement, half movement, and then my action to dash. What about then?
Hey, Wilhelm.
Yeah. All right,
Sure.
so I'll use my action to dash with him, and gain another 20 foot of movement effectively. So I can,
Okay.
in a turn, move 40 foot, get him to the edge, and then just toss him off. I need to roll a...
You can definitely do that. The tossing off would be your action, though, so you'd have to do that next round. So you could use your action, and you could use your movement, and dashing would be your action. So you could get him there, and then next round you could throw him off, or you could try it
Okay.
either way.
If that's the case, what I'll do is I'll move him 20 foot, and I'll actually attack him this round, and then next round I hopefully move and then toss, but we'll see. So
Sure,
I'm just going to drag him as far as I can, 20 foot in the
Sure.
direction, and
Tell me where you
swing
end up,
my-
and I'll have him drag along, and then you can go ahead and make your attack.
Cool, that's fair. All right, with my Tarzan, I'm raging. I'm going to do this. Why not? I'll do it recklessly as well.
Sure.
So 7 and so 14 to hit.
I believe that's gonna hit. These guys aren't wearing much armor.
Okay, cool.
Actually, 14 does not hit. This guy has a
alright.
shield, and you've got him grappled, and you go to slash down, and it just happens to grab the edge of the shield.
All right, no worries. I'll use my extra attack if this one works. 24. Sorry. Yeah, 24 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
All right.
This time you know what to avoid.
Takes 9 slashing damage. Oh, sorry, piercing damage from the stab, and then 10 damage from my divine fury.
Oh, you could continue to drag him towards the edge, but you will be throwing off a dead body as he is dead.
Wow, already? That's disappointing. I just got limp in my hands, and I'm like, "Hey, told you it should have been me." So pathetic.
Yeah, you just slash right down and get him pretty good. All right, next is this shaman. Shaman number 1, where are you hiding? I think he's the one that came up. Yeah, he's the one that was chatting with you. That's Thrust. Sorry. He is going to look incredibly shocked at this betrayal because
We did a really good job lying to it.
Yeah, you guys.
This poor guy.
High five, everybody.
He
You guys
is
are basically
just-
Greenpeace. That we're murdering.
He is not at all happy. He is going to cast a spell and summon. Oh my god, where did my summoned creatures go? Oh,
You don't need
no.
those. You don't need to bring those. They're fine where they are.
Yeah.
He summons a giant vulture. Caw! Oh,
Oh shit.
Oh.
he's gonna cast Conjure Animals and summon a giant. He's gonna try to summon a giant vulture, and he's gonna be failing miserably because oh wow.
Ha ha!
Ah.
Vulture. Where'd my vulture go? So yes, he summons this giant vulture out of thin air. There it is. Come with me. Nope. All right. While I try to figure out this vulture,
All right.
because it's causing me harm, guys. I'm trying to make an NPC appear that doesn't like me. Doesn't like me at all.
We're good.
Vultures is an encounter. There we go.
Vulturing.
Vulture.
There it is.
There it is. Caw, large vulture. He is super unhappy. Vulture needs to roll initiative. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Vulture goes on his turn. So on his turn, this giant vulture is going to sweep on over to Ryland and attack. It is going to... Oh, the vulture's out. He doesn't have any allies. He's going to make 2 attacks. One with its beak, one with its talons.
That'll do it.
That probably hits.
not
I
worth
can't see
showing.
the rolls anymore because my
21.
hates me. 21. That's gonna hit. You're gonna take some damage. And then
Yep.
with its talons, it's gonna reach out and try to attack you, but talons miss. So giant beak comes at you, but fails miserably. Or it connects. Talons fail miserably. Shaman is going to pull back and is going to be done. Next up is the other shaman. The other shaman is going to speak some arcane words, and from the creature below you, out of its flesh, spikes start to grow.
Whoa.
Like
That's not
Who's
gross.
hurting the creature now?
Yeah.
Creature doesn't
Some-
seem to care. Tarrasque
Creature.
does not. Like,
There's some bullshit, man.
okay, the ground in a 20-foot radius centered in a point within range. Within range is more than enough. Okay, Ryland and Sugar, you guys, the ground below you grows thorns and vines and spikes, and you can clearly see it because it is not a natural formation, but you know moving through it, you're going to be taking some damage. He is going to be done. Ryland, it's your turn. You've got a big vulture in your face and you are surrounded by spikes. You know, like you do.
He's thinking. He's muted, but he's
He is-
thinking.
I was speaking the whole
Speaking,
time.
I know.
Sorry, it was all inane and just expletives. Did we take a long rest between episodes? Or am I supposed
Yes.
to? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
you are all
In his-
freshly fresh.
Cool. I would suspect we would be
In this,
taking on a Tarrasque.
yeah. I'm gonna Misty. Actually, first of all, I'm gonna try and whack it with the quarterstaff because I can't do anything else. Miss, and then I'm going to Misty step out of here. How far is Misty step? 30, 30
I
feet.
want to say it's 30
Hey.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Alright. I just... And I'm like, Sugar! Get it! I try and whack it with my wand.
Yeah. You
I am not the
out
tank.
of there. All right.
That's my turn.
Alright, it is the leader's turn. What does the leader want to do? Yeah, he's gonna pull out a wicked-looking trident, shout some words in your direction, and yeah, he's gonna throw his trident at Sugar.
That is not
He doesn't want to go into his
Okay.
high growth. I don't think that's gonna hit though.
I do this.
And Sugar, it's your turn.
Yeah, it is. So let's see. Vultures, a bunch of lizards that are, super cool and out of my range. So much fun.
All the
It's
fun.
going to be difficult.
And you're in
Um,
difficult terrain, surrounded by thorns.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll just
like-
chill out
like
here. Yeah, I'll just chill out. Ooh, wait, they're not near me. And I'm guessing this Shield of Faith didn't go off because he never swung down at it. Okay,
No,
that's fine.
He didn't get the chance. Diomedes gave him a big giant hug.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great for me. I like it. I will point at the vulture and go retreat and cast command at it. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
That's
That's a 4.
Peace.
All right. On its turn, you suspect this thing is going to retreat.
Sweet. And then since that was my action, I guess then I will chill out here, and I guess I'll cast Shield of Faith on myself then. I can do
Okay.
that. Well, let me check to make sure command isn't concentration. It is not. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. Buff up real quick. Take out my sword. Shrug a bit.
Stand there, looking ready.
Yeah, looking so cool.
Looking awesome. All right.
Yeah.
It is all of the lizards' turn. All of the random lizards. Let's see what they're gonna do. One of their fellows is dead, and they're very unhappy about that. Number 1. What is their speed? 30 feet. He's going to 5, 10, 15. He's going to go to there, and he is going to throw a javelin at Sugar.
No.
17 to hit?
No.
All right. The next one, for 3, going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to throw a javelin. No, I don't even have to ask for that one. Number 4 is going to 5, 20, 25, 30. Hey, guess what? He's gonna throw a javelin. No, he's gonna fail.
Guys are bad.
Diomedes. All right, we are back at the top of the round. I need everybody to make strength saving throws as the Tarrasque steps down onto the ground.
Oh.
And the
Oh,
whole
no.
creature shakes.
Dexterity, right?
Dexterity
strength.
saving throws. Or no, I'm sorry, strength saving throws. You're trying to hold on to something to stay stable.
Cool.
Ooh, yeah. 20.
17.
Nice.
Good job, brother.
Nice. You guys are getting your Tarrasque legs, as it were. I need to
Yeah.
roll a bunch of saving throws to do this.
Make them fail. Fail harder.
The 2 shaman are shaken to their knees for a moment, but everybody seems to stay on the Tarrasque at least. Then Diomedes, it's your turn.
Right, with
I
my
think you're
movement.
muted.
No, I'm just
Okay.
counting. So with my movement, I will carry the body of this limp lizard folk, climb up on top of the orb if I can. It's domed enough that I can sort of stand on the top.
Okay.
And with the body, I'll simply hold it up, it dripping with blood from the stab wound that I delivered to it, and shout to the entire group of lizard folks, and I'll say, "Fools! You face the Adelards, Asimars of Bahamut. You have a better chance of surviving by leaping off the Tarrasque itself." And I'll drop the body onto the floor and let it slide over the dome. The blood
Before you slide over the dome.
Yeah.
Before you slide over the dome, crawl onto this dome. You announce these words. It's very impressive. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Is he within 10 feet of me?
No, it's. Oh wait. Yes.
I mean, if you don't want to be.
Yeah, it says that you are.
Yeah, you're within 10 feet.
Oh god, not the dominate monster.
Yeah, you're gonna get dominated.
Save it. Okay, hold
Plus
on.
4
Wisdom
to whatever it
saving
is.
throw,
Plus 4 is 17. Well,
Okay.
hold
Oh
on.
wait, 9th level. Probably like a 9th level dominate monster. The Tarrasque.
Diomedes,
Oh god.
you want to just take a walk.
Where? Just anywhere?
Anywhere you're not going to be in the way.
Suddenly, all that rage seems to not.
Straight forward, maybe?
You're not, this isn't like go hurt yourself. This isn't fall off the edge. It's just you suddenly, you make this impassioned speech, you drop the body, and then just a nice casual walk sounds like a really good idea.
Cool. Alright. Did I get an intimidation check before this went up? Or that was probably going to be my action. If not, then I'll go for a walk then.
If you weren't suddenly glassy-eyed and a little like, and walked off, you would. But after you make this impassioned speech, you just start to walk away.
I walk over to my sister. I'm like, "Come on, let's go take a walk in the park." I'm gonna use my action to dash. By dash, I mean stroll. I'll walk up the horn. I go up to my brother. I'm like, "Come on, let's take you for a walk." And I tug the rope that I have tied around him.
No. Not going on a walk.
I'm for walkies, right then.
Oh my
Go
God.
for walking.
God.
I got a little leash for him with the rope. It's great.
That's true. I forgot you guys were tethered together. Yeah, there was a little bit of a moment when he misty stepped. At the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom saving throw.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's
Yes,
the end of my.
stay right there then. Within 10 feet of me.
Okay, here we go. 10.
Hey.
I'm gonna use. Can I use before my rage is like fully subverted? Can I use my Just an ability for? There it is. Fanatical focus. I'm gonna use that.
All right.
So what it does
So your
is
rage is still up.
okay. It's about to go down if I don't do anything else, but I'm gonna try and use.
This is
fanatical
true, but
focus.
yeah, for this round, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it allows me to re-roll any savings where I fail. Ah, it's even better. For one.
Good.
I have to use that as well, so I have to use the natural one. So I'm like, come on, time to go.
Diomedes, on a natural one, what is it like? Now that you suddenly just want to go for a walk, where do you want to go? Why do you want to go there? What looks good to walk to?
We should go see those footprints. I'm sure they're like mini oases. Have a little picnic, a family picnic. Yes, perfect. I have some dried
Not
meats.
the
I have some
time.
linen. We'll use the
We
carpet as
don't
a
like
picnic.
oases.
We'll use the carpet as a little picnic blanket.
They're
Be a
very
dog.
overrated.
Oh,
This is the best thing ever. All right, Diomedes is off on walksies. The shaman doesn't really understand quite what's happening. He also doesn't understand that his vulture is currently being told to GTFO. So he's going to bark some orders at the vulture, and then he is going to try to cast Entangle on Sugar. I need to
Don't
look
do
up
that. Don't do it.
Entangle real quick, because...
No.
Oh, jeez.
No, you don't. It's fine.
He is going to
That's the
try
last
to
time we
stop...
got time to out.
Range 90 feet. Oh yeah, he can definitely do that. So, I need Sugar to succeed on a strength saving throw to try to not be entangled.
Okay. +4, so 19.
Oh yes, yeah. You feel the vines actually try to come up and wrap around you and actually bind you, but you just bust through them without a problem. The vulture says, "I'm out, peace," and is gone because he was commanded to leave, and the shaman looks really upset by that. The other shaman is actually, where is he hiding?
He's
Oh, there he
dead.
is.
He died. You
Nope.
weren't looking. He died.
I wasn't looking. He's just like, oh, I don't know. The other shaman is he's going to continue to concentrate on the spike growth that's up around Sugar, and he's also going to try to entangle you. I need you to make another strength saving throw.
Stop it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Nope, nothing can stop you, and it is your turn.
Oh, I think it's Rylan.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. It went straight to you. Yes, Rylan, it's your
Rylan,
turn.
please kill those people, especially the shamans. They suck.
I couldn't agree.
They're trying to give me hugs. Non-consensual hugs, Rylan!
Worst kind of hug. I'm going to center a fireball on this token here,
Ooh. Oof.
which
Yes.
should, I think, hit all of them.
Ooh.
Because it's
Yes.
20 foot radius, right?
Ooh, that's good.
So they all need
Alright,
to
this
make
guy's-
a... Maybe one of them's
Yeah.
out?
Well, I'm just making sure this guy's in a square. So yeah, I think that's gonna be everybody.
That's a DC 14 deck saving throw.
DC 14 deck saving throws coming up.
Right up.
Shaman number 1 is gonna fail.
Ah.
Shaman number 2 is gonna succeed.
Succeed.
The leader is gonna succeed.
Yep.
Then
And
lizard folk number 1 is gonna fail. Lizard folk number 2 is gonna fail. Or number 3. Sorry, number 2 it did.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
Fail.
fail. Alright, so
All right.
one of the shaman and the other guy succeed.
That's 30 fireball. 30 fire damage slow to fail, 15 blow to succeed.
Oh,
35
okay.
ball damage.
This. Go ahead and describe this
Fire.
explosion for me, because after the explosion is over, there's not much left.
Rylan he hears the words of his sister and is like, non-consensual hugs! And I get out my other wand and just point it in that direction, and gout of fire goes off.
You're
on
such a good brother.
the lizard leader, and they are just smoked.
Yeah. Oh, all of the lizard folk that were around you, kind of the soldiers, are just turned to toast. Their bodies falling to the Tarrasque's hide. One of the shamans goes up in flames, especially after your lightning bolt from before.
Lizard folk, more like lizard smoke.
The spike growth that's on the ground is gone, as there's no more
Aw.
concentrating on that. There are still the 2 left, the one shaman that you hadn't been speaking to, and the leader of the 2. They're smoking and haggard, and their clothing is on fire, and they are super upset.
Good.
Anything else besides the complete death and destruction of an entire clan of lizard men?
Yeah, no, that's all. I'll move up here be closer to the party.
All right, it's the leader's turn, who, in sheer anger and frustration at what has happened, is going to rush up to Sugar and is going to do a multi-attack. You're kind of in the bulwark of this whole thing.
What did I do to you, man? I was
he's gonna try to bite you. 13?
Fuck. No.
Okay. And he's gonna try to stab you with his trident. That's a dirty 20.
I mean, it would hit, but I'm gonna cast Shield as a reaction. Okay. And now my AC is 25. So go away.
King! The trident kings off. He growls at you, and Sugar, it's your turn.
This is so much fun. This is everything I've ever wanted to do. Okay.
I'm so happy that I could offer you a ride on a Tarrasque fighting a bunch of lizard folk while you cast magic all over the place. As your brother decides to go for walkies.
It's so much fun. I guess I will, attack, maybe. Does that seem like a good idea? I think it's a good idea. It seems like a good idea. No, I'm just talking. I'm just really happy. Yes. Do you consent to this attack with my scary sword? I hope so.
No.
Oh.
Non-consensual stabbing. Non-consensual stabbing.
You were just about to do it to me. This is cheating.
I didn't ask you. I just did it.
Well, that's even worse.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to attack him. I hit him once.
Yes.
I hit him twice.
Yes.
Let me just roll this real quick. This is the first damage. And this is the second damage. So 19 points of slashing.
Nice. He is looking super hurt, but enraged, and like he's here to defend this creature, and he seems to be willing to die for it, but you've done a grievous injury. Anything else?
No, I think I'm chill.
All right. We're back to the top of the round as the Tarrasque takes another step. I need everybody to make strength saving throws. Diomedes, I need you to make it a disadvantage because you're just walksies. Taking a walk.
How do I roll disadvantage? Is it just right click and then
this.
Yeah, there's a little button on the bottom that you can.
I'm at 22.
15.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
still at 21.
And plus
All right.
4, so yeah.
25.
Yeah, even
True, yeah, 19.
even in your current pacified state, you still ride this Tarrasque like you were born to ride it. Yeah, everybody makes their saves. There's this moment of as you all feel it land, but nobody has a problem with it. Diomedes, feel like taking a walk?
Yeah.
Like to take a walk. Where would you like to go?
I'm trying to get my brother to come up here, and where's the carpet?
With me.
It's with Sugar, yeah.
Right. Come on, we're going on a family outing. When's the last time we had one? Come on.
We're doing it right now.
Right now, this is one.
This is an outing.
So Diomedes, I'm going to say that the only action you can take is going for a walk. You can't actually try to drag or interact with anybody.
Okay, in that case.
Your directive is to, not cause any harm and just go for a walk.
Do that then. Let's go to the very tip of the Tarrasque and get a nice landscape. And I think about here, is that 20 feet away? No, there's a 40-foot rope attached to me and my brother, so I think that's gonna get there. How do I make the distance between these?
He won't let you.
I'll let you go wherever you'd like at the end of your rope, wherever you think 40 feet is. I'll accept.
Okay. I mean, that's a bit
Yeah.
too far. At this point, I'd be dragging my brother. We're like, come on!
You kind of just get to the end. You're like, oh, all right. Guess I'm gonna have to walk into different. Like you realize jumping off of this would be suicidal, and so your natural reaction is, oh, all right, can't walk this way anymore. I'm gonna have to walk in a different direction. You look about. It is a magnificent view. The creature below you is just horrifyingly amazing. You are so high up off the ground that you can see for miles and miles in this gorgeous day. It's amazing. Go ahead and, what was it, a wisdom saving throw? Make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Rylan, come enjoy the vista.
I'm not coming to your vista.
Well,
Walking just sounds so much fun. So much
I'll
fun.
back down there and get you.
The shaman is going to go now. He is going to he is going to rush up, and he is going, what is he going to do? Yeah, he is going to concentrate on Sugar, who is wearing some pretty heavy armor, if I remember.
Oh. Yes, Lauren.
Yes. This is heavy. Yeah. He's gonna cast Heat Metal
Rylan, kill
on
him!
your armor. I don't think there's a saving throw on this. It just happens. It's concentration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage. When you cast the spell, until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. So, Sugar, your armor gets super hot. You're gonna take 9 fire damage, and it begins to glow.
Ooh, it's pretty. It hurts, but it's pretty.
It's pretty painful, is what it is.
Yes, it is.
And so, at the moment, unless you take your armor off, you're gonna have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Because
Rude.
your armor is on fire.
Rylan, kill him.
Rylan, it's your turn.
Yes.
You're at the end of a rope with your brother, who seems to be happy to just wander about.
Well, let him do that.
It's completely taut. It's like the rope is really taut right now.
Yep.
More like
I'm
real
going
leash.
to... I'll just cast a magic missile at the lizard king.
At the king or the shaman who's heating the metal?
Oh, is he the one that's doing the metal? Yeah, whichever one's doing the metal. So this guy
That'd be
here.
the shaman. You see him, his claws outstretched, muttering as the armor becomes red hot.
Okay, so I think that's 5 and 2 and 3.
So
Well, as you
10.
probably see by the chat, that is more than enough to drop this guy. Just in time, too, as Sugar, your armor was beginning to get really
Yeah.
hot as this thing dies.
I just, as she's like burning up there, she's like, kill him. I like turn the wand and just with a little flick, the missiles go out and like catch him in the throat and he dies.
You're such a good brother.
Anything else?
First time I've heard that. No. I'll just stay where I am.
Chill.
You can't move too much because your brother's on the other end of a rope, going for walksies. All right. It is the king's turn. He, in an enraged state, the last of his tribe, is going to try to bite Sugar. This is not going to work. He's going to try to trident Sugar. Not going to work. He is going to probably die to Sugar. Let's see what Sugar does.
I don't know. It could go really poorly here in a second. Here we go. I'm going to, stab him maybe. Huh! Yes, it hits.
Oh, yes.
And 17 for the second attack.
Would you describe in gory detail the death of the leader of these lizard folk?
Listen, I feel like really bad about this, but just a little, and I'm hot and I'm sweaty, and I'm just going to make it really quick, okay? And I cut off his head.
Boom. And you do it with such power that the body kind of collapses where it is, and the head goes and rolls off the side of the Tarrasque. All right. We are technically out of initiative. I'll say, Ziomedes, if you'd like to give me another wisdom saving throw as we leave initiative, we'll see. We'll see what's
Natural.
Christ.
Oh, so that's a wisdom check, but not much different.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go?
Well, I can't go back up. I can't go further anymore, so I go back the way I came with the
Sure.
rope, kind of like grabbing the rope as I do. I'm like, well, I think we should try walking all the way to the tip of the tail. Just do some laps, maybe. Good exercise. Enjoy the sun. Oh, those guys don't look like they had a good time.
Thank you for the helping. Maybe don't climb up on things. You
Okay.
seem to got distracted.
Distracted? Nonsense. My mind is fully clear. It's the perfect day for a walk to clear the head.
So should we? Okay, maybe we walk. Maybe we bring you to the ground and you walk around wherever you want,
Yes.
away from the big beast, the nature-y thing.
I think we need to, now that they're dead, I think we need to get back on the carpet. We could go for a walk on the carpet and go back into town so that we can get our friends to help us assist mending the device.
Walk on the carpet? Don't be ridiculous, brother. You need to stretch your legs. Come. I step down the neck, whistling to myself as I go.
Diomedes, brother, why don't we all walk together this way? And I'm gonna put a
Family-
carpet on the floor.
I can't
Family
hear you.
outing.
I'm having too much of a good time.
Ziomedes, roll
Ziomedes,
another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
One of these days.
Just like wait.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah,
So
I'll
much
do it.
walking. All the walking. Mostly walking.
So yes, Rylan, besides our brother, do you?
Yes.
You said we had what? If it kept the same rate, 4 days or so.
Something like that, yes.
Okay, I'm just worried about leaving, but yes, I think that
Well,
the
maybe one of
others
us
will
could
be
One of us could stay here, and I look back to Diomedes. Looks like he's having
Not
a fine
him.
enough time as it is.
I mean, he is, but I'm worried that he's going to just walk right off this side.
I didn't get very far. I just realized the ropes kind of stopped me, and I'm like trying to move with the rope, dragging Rylan slightly.
Right.
I
Rylan-
untie myself
Oh,
from...
Oh, okay. As Rylan unties himself, Rylan, you would know enough about the Dominate Monster spell that Ziomedes won't be tempted to do anything that would put himself in harm's way. That's not how that spell works. That it seems like his directive is just to go for a walk and to not get in anyone else's way.
He's like a little white dot now on the horizon as he gets to the back legs of the Tarrasque.
Yep.
He'll probably be fine. He won't come to any harm while under the effects of the spell. He won't do any harm to himself. He should be fine here. Or perhaps you could stay here with him, and I could fly
yes,
back.
that's a good idea. Very good idea. Okay, you go get everyone. You come
Good job.
back. And
Yeah, Ziomedes, just every once in a while, just give you a wisdom saving throw just for fun.
if you ever stop within 10 feet of me, it might help.
All right,
Fly across the
so
carpet.
sounds like Sugar's gonna stay with Ziomedes, and Rylan, you're getting on the carpet. All right, Rylan, where are you headed? What's your
Look at that.
trajectory?
Head back to the Lizard Inn. Great big Lizard
Big
Inn. which-
lizard lounge.
Big Lizard Lounge.
Yeah.
And see if I can find our companions there.
Well, you very quickly find Nemrit and Faerun, who are still standing there. They've been kind of watching from a distance. They see you approaching, and Nemrit says, "Oh, did you? Was there a problem? There's only one of you now."
There was a problem, but no, we're all fine. I flew here to come bring you the news. The others are fine and well up there. The only problem being Ziomedes, the fool that he is under the effects of the dominate monster spell.
Oh, that could be a problem. Well, he's just going to be told to walk around for a while, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Tarrasque has been wandering for hundreds of years?
Basically forever.
Well, you probably need to get off it. You probably need to get off it and get some distance from the.
But the lizard folk who are upon it have been defeated, and I will need some assistance in mending the device. So
it's got an injury to it.
The device has been struck by hammers. The lizard folk were attempting to free it.
That's disappointing, but ooh,
what can I say?
Not quite yet, but we're getting closer, Ziomedes.
You gotta walk over.
Yeah.
Gotta catch up.
Faerun says, "Well, I don't have much left, but let me come back with you. I can mend the device. If you still have the bottle, hopefully that will be enough to fix it, and then I can see what I can do about your friend if he's been dominated. We've got some options."
That would be best. Yes.
Excellent.
Perhaps
and she'll
we keep him under it for a little while.
whatever you think is best. We at least know he won't come to any harm. And she'll step onto the carpet, and you'll fly her back up to the Tarrasque.
True enough. Yes, I go.
All right. She asks you to go over to the device first and examines it and kind of confirms everything that you had found on your examination. It's cracked, it's leaking, and she says, "Yes, I think once we get this fixed and topped off, I believe we'll be good for at least another 100 years or so. You still have the bottle I gave you, correct?"
I look to Sugar.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to mend the crack, and as I do, I need you to pour that into the device. Since there was this injury to it, and some of the fluid is leaked out, as you've now seen with your friend, it's probably best that you don't touch it, so please be careful. And she kind of holds her hands a little distance from the crack, and you see them glow a little bit as she starts to cast mending all along the crack. You see the glass seal itself up. Sugar, if you're gonna go ahead and pour the bottle, I need you to make a dexterity check to make sure you don't touch anything you shouldn't.
Okay. Let's see. Oh
my god! I got 19.
You still want to go for walksies?
Oh my god!
It's one more. The DC's 20.
Oh god.
It had to be a powerful enough spell to dominate a Tarrasque. So
yeah.
That's fine. I nearly made it.
Okay. This is just a straight check, so I might be going for walksies too soon. Hold on.
Well, in your case, it's a straight check, but it's not that high of a check. Yeah, that's enough. I mean, basically, it's can you balance enough and pour into this large bowl without accidentally going whoopsie and touching it? And yeah, you are ungainly. You look like you have this frightened look on your face the whole time. You just look terrified. You're pouring this bottle, which is pouring like molasses. You have to hold it over the rounded edge. It's interesting, as the liquid hits the glass, it looks like it's going to pour off, and then it like slowly is being sucked in. It's like the glass is acting as a sponge. So it starts to pour, and then it just disappears in. And Rylan, you notice that as Faerun fixes the crack in the glass, any of the liquid that had seeped out over there, it takes a moment, but it looks like it's slowly being sucked back in. And after a moment of fixing this crack and Sugar pouring everything out, the device, the flickering seems to settle a little bit. It still flickers, but it's now kind of a gentle pulsing. And nothing obvious changes with the Tarrasque, but as you all stand there kind of keeping an eye and an ear out, those pauses that you had been experiencing before, they don't happen anymore, and the Tarrasque is just lumbering along. And Farron says, "Yes, now let's see to your friend. Where did he go? Let me see what I can
Way over there. Very, very
Oh,
tiny.
Hello, yes, hi." And she'll walk on over. Diomedes, you now have a companion walking alongside of you, just kind of ambling along. She holds out her hand and she says, "Sorry, go ahead."
I'm like nearly at the tip of the tail, by the way. I've been like doing 45 movement every time, so. Oh man. Probably to catch up to me just before I reach the very tip.
She's walking slowly, kind of like carefully because of the movements of the Tarrasque, but she seems unconcerned. Like as you're moving towards the tip of the tail, she knows that you'll come back eventually, and she'll catch you on the other side. So you guys gotta meet in the middle of the tail, and she says hello and holds out her hand to you as though she's gonna like take your hand and walk with you.
Ah, greetings. You come for a walk as well? You come by here often?
This is the first time in a very, very long time. And she takes your hand, and I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Ooh, I can make all the difference.
And she is doing something else. So.
I see. I say, this Tarrasque just gets it, Great outdoors. I'm not rolling on the table, with advantage, so should be
amazing.
There's a brief moment in where you feel maybe like you should stop walking and go check on some stuff, but you're like, no, walking is good. You see Farron's shoulders kind of slump and she looks tired. It's like, I've forgotten how strong we had made this device.
I know I should help, but it's really funny.
Reaches into the side of her pouch and she pulls out what looks like a knitting needle. It's a pretty long, wicked-looking needle, and she's still holding your hand. She scratches your arm. Take 1 point of damage and make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
I'll start walking over there when I see that.
So 1 point of slashing damage.
Oh,
there we go!
Finally.
It's as if the pain of her slashing you with this knitting needle, you're like shocked. Like you were on this nice walk. Why were you walking? What's going on? Why would you walk away from a fight? And you're no longer dominated.
Why would you ruin a perfectly good day? Wait, what? Where'd the lizard folk go? What? The crack? The Tarrasque? Wait, this is a Tarrasque. How did I get here?
This is a Tarrasque. You decided to go for a little walk. It's okay though. You and your companions were ultimately successful. So, please, we should vacate this creature. I don't know about you, but riding on the back of it is unnerving.
Well, I found it quite comforting actually. I remember just tranquility and peace. What did it feel like?
It just felt like walking and just avoiding trouble were just the best ideas, and that the more you walked and just avoided trouble, you were happy, and that's all you really needed to do. Yeah.
Wow. I know what the effects are now, what this Tarrasque is actually under, and well, if it seems content, then it can't be doing too much harm, surely.
Exactly. Good. And anything that's come to harm is the death of a driver.
Yeah, I felt a
Sounds
little
like-
bad about it.
You killed them all?
They started burning
Well-
you. That was a dick move.
Yeah, no, we did teamwork, Zai. We did the teamwork, and I hold my arms open to Rylan.
Could have saved some for your big brother.
Consensual hug?
Perhaps just the one.
Okay. I take him around the arms and I lift him up a little and I squeeze him. I put him down.
I just clap my hands and I say, well, you two certainly have grown up. You can take care of yourselves, it seems. I'm impressed. You got a whole tribe of lizard folk without me. So well, I softened them up quickly.
You did do the first kill. You do remember that.
Yes.
Love. Yes.
Yes,
Good job.
Very
this
good.
is all very touching, but I would like to get off of the giant death lizard, please. And she is
Right.
moving towards
Okay.
the... All right, you guys get back on the carpet, and Rylan, I assume you're going to swoop everybody back into town?
Absolutely, taken back to the inn.
The big lizard lounge, which everyone is happy to see you. Nyla and Trinkle are there. They've come back from their shopping expedition, are happy to see you. And Nemrit says, "Oh, great!" After you explain what happened. Look, this is fantastic. We'll keep an eye on the beast. We'll keep an eye on Bob and make sure that everything's going to be okay for at least another 100 years. I'll make sure to train up another one of my tinkerers to make sure that everything is going to be okay for a while. But certainly, you've done us a great service. We don't really have much in the way of payment, but Farin, were you thinking about doing what I thought you were doing? And Farin says, yes, we're both well out of our adventuring part of our lives, and I was hoping that if you were successful and you think that this carpet would come to use,
Yes!
that's something that you would like.
I think so.
Well then,
We can give it
please.
a name.
It is yours. It's yours to name if you like naming inanimate objects, sure. But it is yours, and may it help you in your future endeavors.
The Adelard picnic blanket.
It's a family picnic.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trinkle says,
my God.
"Yay, picnic blanket!"
Amazing.
All right.
Well,
We did it.
this is incredibly useful for our future endeavors. Good. I think
Yes.
I will do some study on this dominate monster spell. It seems like it could come in handy. A variety of situations.
Well, I don't think you're going to be coming across any other Tarrasques, but I thought it was very handy. So good luck in your studies.
Likewise.
And-
Adelard picnic blanket.
You now have a magic flying blanket, picnic blanket. What are you going to name your magic flying picnic blanket? That's hard to say.
We could call it Addy for short.
Oh.
It's good, right? It's good.
Fine.
Addy.
And as you guys enjoy the rest of the day in the Big Lizard Lounge, celebrating your saving the world, we'll stop there. And not next week, but the week after I get
Yes.
back from a little adventure of my own, we will pick up with a new adventure. I will have to come up with something bigger than a Tarrasque to throw at you guys, I guess.
Great stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sir.
Nailed it. Well, my friends, that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Monthly Modules. Join us not next week, but a week after for another episode of this show where the full cast and crew should be back. So it won't just be the Adelard family, but a successful Adelard outing was definitely had today. So we definitely did well. Stick around here as well. We've got our next show, Call of Cthulhu Atomic Cthulhu, is coming up in a few minutes' time. Followed by the premiere Twitch event of RuneQuest hosted on Encounter Roleplay. So come and join us for that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. But let's go around to cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with our esteemed Dungeon Master, Obo Crazy. What do you think about tonight's show?
My favorite moment was when Zymedes decided to climb on the big ball of Dominate Monster, because I didn't think that was going to happen at all. It did. Beautiful. It made me so happy to send one of you for walksies. So thank you. that made my game. But hi, I had tons of fun, as always, playing with you guys. I'm Lauren, also known as Obo Crazy. You can find me DMing Dungeon Drunks, which is a podcast that you can find every Monday, wherever fine podcasts are sold. You can also find me this weekend on the Stream of Many Eyes, which is the big, giant event that's happening on the Wizards of the Coast channel. So twitch.tv/D&D is going to be a giant group of us who are all in LA for the whole weekend, this coming weekend, the first, second, and third. There's going to be a ton of D&D games that are going to be played. There's special guest stars. I'm going to be there playing oboe. I'm going to be playing a bard. I'm going to be playing my oboe and doing D&D all together, which is pretty much one of my life goals. So I don't know what I'm going to do after that. But yeah, come and watch. It'll be fun. And then I'll be back, not next Monday, but the Monday after, because a week from today I'll be flying home and probably exhausted. But I will be looking forward to playing with y'all again.
Great stuff. Thank you, Obo. Lauren, same questions for you.
Yes, I had a blast. I missed Sam and Toto D, but I'm glad that we got to do a little family trip. That was super fun, and I was pretty proud of everything that happened, how we handled that, even being down 2 party members. I was like, okay. You can find me on Twitter at @ThatSaltyGinger, talking film stuff and RPGs. The other main place is every Sunday at 7 p.m. I am on a show called Project Athena over with Greg, who's keeping the next game on here, Atomic Cthulhu, and it's Pulp Cthulhu. It's super fun. We just had our season 2 finale last night, and I just really encourage you to check it out because I think it's really special.
It is.
Great stuff. And last but not least, Chris.
Yeah, Zamir is like super proud of his siblings for handling that situation so well. And although it was a bit of a thought-provoking one, because the dilemma is that the Tarrasque isn't necessarily evil, but it is going to destroy everything, so maybe we should stop it. And then the whole idea of it being mind-controlled, well, at least I've experienced what that feels like now, and I know the Tarrasque isn't actually under any that bad effects. He's just going for a walk, he's enjoying himself, so I mean, he doesn't feel too bad about it being permanently mind-controlled. But other than that, yeah, that was the best moment. I was like trying to be all heroic again. Again, he's trying to fulfill these deeds, and instead he's totally forgot that it was going to cast Dominate Monster on him, and then goes for a walk. But yeah, no, can't wait for the next one, and it should be a shame because I won't be able to do it next week, but I'll be eagerly awaiting the week after. So, but yeah, go watch Over Crazy instead. That'd be cool. Sounds like a good time. Other than that, you'll find me on Twitter at Senrith_. Link in the chat, and yeah, looking forward to coming back.
Absolutely. Well, my friends, we're going to head into our next show here. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the follow button and join us. But we've got Call of Cthulhu, and we're going all atomic in a Fallout 3 inspired game. Coming up here in a few minutes, followed by the premiere Twitch event of RuneQuest, where we'll be giving away 5 PDFs of the RuneQuest core PDF, which is yet to be released. Comes out next week, first week of June, just in time for my birthday. So stick around for that one. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I can't wait for the next episode of Monthly Modules. Not next week, but the week after. Until then, try not to roll too many nat ones. We want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.